what's up guys? My name is Zach and today I am driving a 2015 Kenworth W900. Up front is a 14.9 liter inline six and down below is an 18-speed manual transmission. Now I'm super excited to be driving this Kenworth because it's a semi. I've never driven a semi before, and if you want to stick around to the end of the video, I will have a whole part about me learning how to drive this. I think it'll be pretty entertaining to watch. But it is such a cool truck. It looks fantastic, and I'm excited to share it with you today. But if you'd like to submit your own vehicle, you can head on over to my website, zackpradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form, takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. But let's get back to that 14.9 liter turbo diesel inline six under the hood. Well, that is providing all of the grunt here for the Kenworth W900. It's a Cummins ISX engine, which is pretty renowned. Cummins has made a couple different engines for semis, and they're all pretty good. And this is just another one of them. It is by far the largest engine ever here on the channel at almost 15 liters with over 2 liters per cylinder, which is just fantastic. Now, like I said, paired to it is an 18-speed manual transmission. I've never said a number that high in a video. It has a high box and a low box, as well as a splitter. And although the H pattern is much like a regular car, you are shifting all the time. And it is quite aggressive. You don't use the clutch besides starting and stopping unless you do end up wanting to double clutch. It is a very daunting transmission, but once you get the hang of it, it can be incredibly smooth. You just have to know where to push it. Last but not least, I guess this is technically 8-wheel drive because it has 2 rear diffs and 2 tires on each side, so you have 8 wheels. It's technically 8-wheel drive, which is pretty neat. How does it feel to drive a Kenworth W900? It's insane. It's not like driving a big pickup truck, which I always assumed it would be. It is a lot more than that. Everything is very heavy duty. The shifter's heavy, the clutch is heavy, the brakes are heavy but touchy, and you are massive. You are the biggest thing on the road without any sort of fail. So that's about out of the way. Let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me I have 2 physical gauges and a screen. Off to the left is the tachometer, and off to the right is the speedometer. This is a Canadian market truck, so it is displaying kilometers over miles per hour, but pretty much everything else is the same. And I do get a digital readout up at the top, which I can switch around to show a couple of different things that the truck is doing. One of the big benefits that it's a 2015. Off to the left, we do have a climate control vent, as well as our oil pressure, battery voltage, water temperature, and amps. Down below that, I do have some dome lights, as well as the engine fan I can turn on and off on a switch if I would like. Then we have some cargo lights, the ignition, the turn key, much like a Porsche, it's off to the left, and the gauge dimmer switch. And moving on to the door, we do have power windows, power mirrors, and power locks. The windows are also air powered, as is a lot of things on this truck. And so when you start it up in the morning, you don't have windows for about the first 10 seconds. Moving into the center, we have another climate control vent, a bunch of light switches, and of course an aftermarket radio. You're gonna swap it out. But then we have so many gauges. In the middle, we have 14 gauges, along with the 4 more to the left, but these are for all different types of air and temperature and definitely things to keep an eye on, and it can be daunting to look at. But most notably, there's an air filter gauge, which is very interesting and something you don't see in regular cars. Not that you would see this many air pressure gauges in cars at all. Down below, we have a bunch of switches and dials. In the center, we have the hazard and jake brake settings. We do have cruise control, which is interesting. Some spare switches. And off to the right, we have our airbags and our 5th wheel adjustments. Very, very cool to see that. And we can lock that rear diff if we want to put the 2 sets of axles in parallel with one another. Then we do have a dial for the information gauge in the gauge cluster. Then we have our climate controls, parking brake, and the red one is the trailer brake. Then we do have cup holders. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Kenworth W900 passes the big friggin' bottle test. Then we have the enormously tall manual shifter. There is the shift pattern up at the top, high-low box on the front, that's that little front switch, and then a splitter on the side with the thumb. Lots and lots to talk about there. But it is huge, it's massive. Sometimes it throws a fit, sometimes it doesn't, but that's okay. Then we have tons and tons of room to actually get up and walk around if we want. This is a sleeper cab, and we'll talk about that in a second, but the seats are incredibly comfortable. and they are air powered, so you can raise and lower them with the air, which is so fun and so cool. You'll see me playing with that in the learning to drive segment at the end. But very, very cool, very comfortable. You need that when you're covering massive amounts of mileage. You just need something comfortable, and it has its own suspension apart from the rest of the truck. So the big bumps become very small bumps once they make their way up to you. Speaking of which, this is the Aerocab, which means it is a sleeper cab. So we'll do a quick tour of the back: bed, refrigerator, microwave, all of the essentials. However, this is kind of the king when it comes to a sleeper cab. They don't get much bigger than this. Obviously, people modify them in aftermarket, they make them bigger. But for a stock Kenworth, this is about as big as you could go, and it is very comfortable in the back. You could sleep very comfortably for quite a long time without getting too scrunched up. We'll hop around back and take a look at the fifth wheel. This is it. I don't really know what else to say. Here it is for those of you interested. But let's talk about the looks of the Kenworth W900. This is finished in an awesome, awesome brown. And the really cool thing about Kenworth is that they've made the trucks similar, if not the exact same, since nearly the 1970s. And so looking at one on the street, it's hard to identify what the big difference is. However, with all of this being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving a Kenworth W900 Aerocab? Well, this incredible experience has been so wonderful. I have so much more respect for the men and women who drive semis for a living. It is a handful. It is a basket case on wheels. You have to be so conscious of your size, your speed. Everything is on the forefront of your mind. And so it does take a lot out of you. It is a very intense drive, but it's a very rewarding one. Once you figure everything out, it puts the biggest smile on your face because you feel like you really achieved something. All of these cars with the electronic clutches and numb shifters, they're not very rewarding. This is. You have to really know what you're doing in order to make it function properly, and I think that's the best part of this truck. I genuinely feel like a man for the first time in several months. Yes, I love driving my little Miatas and my little K cars, but this is girthy, you know? This is, you know? And so, huge thank you to Matt and George for letting me take out this Kenworth and learn how to drive, of course, on private property. It has been such a cool day, such a wonderful experience. I hope you enjoy this next part of the video, the final part of the video of me learning how to drive this truck. But thank you so much for checking it out, and I hope that you enjoy. Take care, guys. Cool. All right. Learning how to drive a semi, take one. Everything is way bigger.
Way bigger. Steering wheel, giant. Shifter, up here. Window switches are over there. They're air operated. Seat, also air. If you drive up there, I'll make fun of you. Okay. You can drive up there. But at some point,
this is good. This is like a good median range.
Yeah. But if you drive like all the way up here, I'm making fun of you.
As you should.
Okay, so first things first.
Yes.
This is trailer brake. We don't have a trailer. Don't worry about it. Don't need to know anything. If this is out, your brakes are set. You can do anything. Push it in. Now we can roll. So I'll pull it out and let you control that.
This is the brake pedal?
That is the brake pedal.
Really tall. Okay.
Very tall, and the play is almost minuscule, but it's very responsive.
Okay.
Like the first time we get rolling, like we're in a parking lot, so from here to there, the first thing I want you to do is get used to the brakes. You can't hurt anything if you know how to stop the truck and you know how to steer. So like, get used to the brakes before we get used to going and shifting. You know? Okay. So, all right, air brake.
Oh wow. Okay.
You got your air gauges and everything.
Yeah.
So we have primary, secondary, fuel tank. We have driver tank, passenger tank. We're feeding off the driver tank right now. We have turbo, boost pressure. We have oil temp, brake application. So hit the brake again. Application pressure. Yep.
Wait. Why does my seat stand up when I hit the brake? Do you notice that?
I don't have.
It's the air system.
I don't have an answer for you on that one, but. You have your rear drive axle temp. You have your suspension load gauge, air filter gauge, so you can tell if your air filter is bad by this gauge. It's interesting.
Interesting, yeah.
Trans temp, which I don't know why they have it go to 300. If it's anywhere past like 200, like
Toast.
So, you ready to drive?
I'm ready to attempt to drive.
Okay. So, first thing, push the brakes in, right? You don't even need to hold it. We're not going to roll anyway. So, yep, push that in. So now, are we going to roll? We are going to roll. Yes. Now you can see how touchy the brake pedal is, okay? So, I guess, yeah, so hold your foot on the brake pedal. Now, clutch pedal.
Yep.
Clutch pedal in.
Okay.
Yep. All right, so now we are in the low gear box.
Okay.
And I don't want you to even think about the thumb switch. So this is how you split gears, so it's in high. Just leave it back in low. So any gear that you go into, you're going to be in the low side of that gear. Okay? So give me first gear. Remember, I only want you to worry about the H pattern. Don't worry about reverse, and don't worry about low.
Clutch.
Clutch all the way to the floor.
Is that too far?
That's reverse. So now just forward. Okay, now what I told you. So hold it.
Yeah.
And now you're holding it at the gate.
Right.
Now feather your foot off the clutch a little, and you'll feel it go in.
Yep.
Yep. Because there's a clutch stop at the bottom of the clutch.
Okay.
The bottom of the clutch pedal engages the clutch stop. So with a bad clutch stop, you might have to jiggle it a little bit like that.
Okay.
And that's pretty common in most trucks. Versus a car, if it's on the floor, it's on the floor. So now you can start letting the clutch out slow. The release is pretty much close to the top.
Should I be giving it gas too?
Don't even think about it.
All right.
No gas required. This has all the torque.
There it is.
All right. Now let off the. Yep. All right. Now give it a little bit of throttle. Okay.
Okay.
Now let off the throttle and go da 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 da. You just shifted a semi.
Woo!
Do that again. Give me third gear. Thinking in our H pattern, that's third gear. Yup.
Could have been smoother, but I'll take it. We are driving a semi, baby! Oh, this air seat's a lot to get used to.
It throws you around. That's why I just dump it on the floor. Don't worry about it.
Should
The
I
hood.
Should
Yeah.
I go right around?
Yeah, do a loop. So you can keep it in this gear, take it as wide as you can, and watch the hood.
Watch the hood!
Yeah, the hood is like a mile long. Keep her going.
Yep.
And now come up to the stop sign, and then clutch in, go back to neutral, and we'll start over.
Brakes.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, they are touchy.
Very touchy.
All right. So,
All right.
starting again.
Starting again.
Clutch.
Clutch to the floor. Put it up on the gate. Yep. Let off a little bit. She'll pop in. Yep, just like that. Take off. Da 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 da. I think, yeah, you got it. Da 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 da. Yep. Let off just like that. So now clutch in. Get your turn.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, brakes. Sorry. I forgot about the brakes.
As wide as possible. Yep, you got it.
Make that,
Not
are we?
making that. No way we're making that.
All right.
All right.
Time to learn reverse.
So, clutch in, reverse,
Yep.
over, and up. I think so. Let me see. There you go. All right, now cut the wheel to the left. Yep. You got it.
Do I have it? I don't know. How close am I over there?
You got like all the room.
Okay.
And you got you have 4 mirrors to see. Too much throttle. Don't even need it. Yep. You're good. Da 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 da. Da 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 da.
Come on. Is it in?
Yeah.
Oh, it's in.
There you go.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yep. Da 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 da. Da 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 da.
It's like a fucking Bronco. I could be smoother, but we're getting it.
We're getting it. See, you're good over here.
You might not got it.
You might not got it. Give
Don't
a
got
tap.
it. Don't got it.
Grind him till you find him, baby.
Apologies to George.
Let off. Beautiful. Do that every time.
No.
No. Try. Give it a tap.
God, you could drive better from the passenger seat.
Yup. Alright, flip the switch. Keep going. Flip the switch. Da 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 da. High box, baby.
High box. Come on,
keep
man.
going, keep going, keep going. Give me another one. Give me another one. Keep going. Give me another one. Da 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 da. Now you're trucking.
Come on. Come on. Where's she at?
Fumble the bag.
Fumble the bag. You
All
know
right.
what? No, that's what?
That was like 8th gear. All right, so now this is the biggest mistake that you're gonna make that I made a ton when I started driving these trucks. You're gonna pull up to the stop sign.
Forget that it's in high.
You're gonna forget that it's in the high box.
So push it.
Yep, clutch in. Yep. All right. You're letting off at the perfect time if this was a 911 RS. This is a W9. You got to give her a little bit of time to think.
I'm gonna keep it so real with you. I wish it was a 911 RS. Hey, it's so weird too to not instinctively give it throttle in first gear.
Yeah. Try pumping the clutch. Give it a half clutch when you shift. So when da 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 da. Yeah. No, you're gonna do a double pump of the clutch. Out of gear, into gear. You're shifting twice. That's how you drive a semi with a clutch. That's how I was taught not to drive a semi. But for some people, it helps.
Yeah. Well, I think it's just extra wear and tear on the clutch, no?
It is extra wear and tear on the clutch, but I think it can really help you get your timing into it.
Yeah.
Because, especially with two pumps, one pump does nothing. You're really shifting twice. You're shifting out of gear and you're shifting into gear. That's the biggest difference than in a car. With these transmissions, look at how much dead slop zone you have.
Yeah.
So put the clutch to the floor. Give me all the way clutch stop. You're going from here, out of gear, dead space, into gear. So it's da-da-da-da, 1, 2. Da-da-da-da, 1, 2. You know?
Yeah.
So it's out of gear, into gear. That's the best way to think about it. You're not shifting. It's not one motion. It's out of gear, into gear.
Whoa! You're so smooth, man. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.